Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 361. I am your host, Keith Andrew. I'm on here with Brantley Goldford, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you, Keith.
Now, it's a special half hour, 35 minutes special edition. With that being said, I'm trying to shorten my interviews under like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, because they tend to go longer. And a lot of people say, oh, you should make it shorten. So I'm trying to condense it. So, hey, cut 10 minutes off, cut 5 minutes off, whatever. As long as you have a good time, that's all that matters. With that being said, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. They should never give up, and to prove to people you can still amount to something. So that being said, half hour, 45 minutes of your time. Say anything you want, talk about anything you want. It's freedom of speech, freedom of self-expression. And with that being said, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I have a feeling that this time is going to go by really fast between you and I. And I just want to, first of all, thank you for such an honor. You are such a precious person. And it's just such an honor to be on this show. And you're right, people do need to see this. They need to see that they can overcome anything. And, you know, just like you, I've overcome many, many things in my life. And a lot of people don't see that. But, you know, it just makes you a better person. You become stronger. And especially if you choose not to be bitter over things that happen to you, and allow them to make you stronger, they definitely will.
No, absolutely. You know, before, throw myself under the bus, before we got started to do the interview, I was like taking more professional headshots of myself. But the one thing I do want to work on is get rid of my fat neck.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. You have a great physique, and, I know that's something kind of we're all working on this time of year, especially. Well, the winter is a little bit worse because it seems like there's more comfort food around in the wintertime. But yes, I'm an aspiring actress, and I'm so excited about it, and doing some movies right now. I can't talk about the movie that I'm presently doing, but there's never been a better time to just believe in yourself and believe in, and that, that God has a purpose for you. And so, disabilities are nothing. Actually, they're just, they can't hold you back. They can't hold you back at all. So, I'm just so excited about being on this program and talking about all that's going forward. You'll have to forgive me, my phone is just ringing right now to put my phone off the hook. Anyway, there's just you can start really anywhere as long as you're faithful with what you're doing and you work hard. The sky's the limit in what you can do.
Yeah, that's true. It's all about, not take the reference from Jim Morrison, break on through to the other side. I always tell people, it's always the glass ceiling, break the glass ceiling, or you're going to, have the lease, and you gotta say, okay, you're giving me room, but now we give you all this room, let's make sure you don't hang yourself with it, and see what you can do with it. But I like the glass ceiling one a lot more.
That's a very good example. Exactly. You don't want to go to the top too quickly, because you want to enjoy your journey, and the destination is not all that. What is wonderful is the meeting people along the way, and get into, hopefully, you get to travel and meet some people, or just meeting people on social media and just trying to be faithful with every little step that you're doing. I love people, and I love to meet people, and that's the most enjoyable part of what I do, for sure.
No, absolutely. Now, the first question I was going to ask you is, who influenced you to become an actress, and how many years have you been acting?
I have been doing some form of television all my life. I've done commercials. Since I was a child, I did commercials. My mother and dad were professional musicians. My dad sang for backup for James Brown. I was a backup singer. I sang in the church. I've always done some kind of form of television, but I've never been on this level. A couple of years ago, I did a showcase, and so I went out to Florida and performed for about 24 casting directors, including the people that recruit for Steven Spielberg, and that was amazing. And it was just kind of a whim, actually. I thought, I'd like to try a hand at this. I really didn't think of it as a life's dream. I just thought, well, the older I get, the more I get creative about the things I want to do. I feel like I can do, anything I want if I put my mind to it. So it was an open call audition, and I auditioned, and from there I did the showcase, and it was a pretty extensive showcase. It was film, acting, photography, runway, improv, everything. So I met people from around the world, from Hawaii, Canada, all over the world at that showcase. And then from there, I've done some movies. I did a movie called Creed Parody. I did a faith-based movie, Stand, that hasn't been released yet, but it's on its way to being released. So I've always kind of done some form of radio or television, and it's really neat. I have some funny stories, but when I was doing the showcase, we're big rescuers of animals around here, and there were some Alaskan Huskies that were walking down the street the day of my audition for the showcase. And so, of course, we were going to rescue them. We didn't know what was going to happen to them because they just looked pitiful. So at the time, I was in this very small place. So I'm in this little tiny bathroom with these rescued Siberian Huskies trying to do my hair and everything and get dressed. So I have a lot of kind of funny stories. Life for me is kind of, sometimes it doesn't go according to plan all the time, but I guess that's just what makes it interesting.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is I tried looking you up on IMDb. Are you a member of IMDb? And the second part of that is, who adds the information about you? Do you do that yourself, or does someone do that for you?
A little of both. I do have some help right now. I'm big into social media, and I do that all myself. As far as IMDb, I'm in the process of getting on IMDb, but the computer stuff is just sort of new to me, and so I'm learning the computer. I have my own studio, so I have every excuse to motivation to learn it. So yes, no, I have some help, but mainly no, I'm doing this on my own.
Hey, two things I want to ask you. First one is, I think this is really funny. You ever notice when you trying to do something, someone or something keeps interrupting, and it's really freaking obnoxious after a while? Because I wish I had my own studio. I love to sit down with you in person, but right now I'm doing this from home, so I'm either having somebody yelling, hey, it's dinner time, or hey, who are you talking to? Or, I have some jackass going up and down on a stupid motorcycle, doing burnouts and doing donuts, and it's like, come on, you had all freaking day to do this. You purposely wait until I'm doing my talk show. I don't interrupt, my other family members. One's a writer and the other one does whatever. It's like I don't interrupt them when they're doing it, but for me, it's like an open invitation. It's like, let's make some noise, let's yell in the background, let's bang at the door, let's have jackass come down on the motorcycle. It's like, come on.
Absolutely. I think the best things are like that. I think when something very special and magical is about to happen, something just always tries to get in the way. Like right now, there's thunderstorms here, and I'm the same as you. I'm like, why can't I just plan? It's all got to do with planning, but you can't plan everything. And I think some of the best things in life are just spontaneous things that just happen. So And I know when you first called me about the interview, oh my goodness, I just was, it was just such a privilege and such a pleasure. And it, you know, I'll always remember you as one of my first radio interviews. And I've met a lot of famous people over the years, and I've been fortunate to, you know, I've been blessed to meet a lot of different kinds of groups and things. And I met Peter Frampton, and there's a long list, and it doesn't really matter, but that part of it. But the reason I say that is because it just, you know, it's special. It's very, very special. So for you to ask me, I know when you called for the first time and said, would I do your show, I was just, it was just a dream come true. And it still is. It still feels like a dream. So I'm so thankful.
Yeah, me too. And what was the joke of when you tell God that you have plans, he just laughs at you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I learned just to, you know, appreciate everything, appreciate everybody, celebrate everything. My goodness, just celebrate it. You know, just waking up, celebrate what you can find to celebrate, because there is so much to celebrate.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is about IMDb. Funny enough, I created one. The only issue I have with IMDb is I can't add anything about myself. Yeah, I have a little blog thing that says what I do, and I know it's like, you know, for you, you're part of this movie, you're part of that, and it's all credits, and it's like, well, it kind of, in a way, isn't my interviews kind of like that? So would it be nice to have a little list? But, you know, I can't really edit any of that stuff, so, hey, not a big deal.
I don't understand that. The only thing I can tell you about that is when I did the showcase, I got signed with some agencies. And when I was signed, that allowed me to go into some of the casting networks.
All right.
And I had to be linked with an agent to do that. And that's the only thing. But, you know, don't let that hold you back at all, because I know people that didn't have didn't have an agent. In fact, some of the most successful people that I know just go on their own and do their own work. And they just spend a lot of time on searching for jobs. And so, you know, you can do it, and I'll help you any way I can, and vice versa, because there is a way. There's a way to get you on IMDb.
Now, the next question is kind of like a funny story. Well, you would think it's funny, but it's not really funny to me, and that's more or less that antagonizes me. When I tell people about my show, they always say, really? You had 400 interviews? You had someone for Chicago PD? That's amazing. And then or you have other people when I tell some. For an example, I was at my brother's wedding, and I was talking to my cousins, and I told them, and they stopped and looked at the person who I was sitting next to, looking for his approval. Like, is he telling us the truth, or is he lying? You know, stuff like that just antagonizes me. But the reason I bring it up is because, let's say today is Tuesday. So I think, actually, yeah, yesterday, I called the guy from, I don't know if you read the Times Herald Record.
I'm not familiar with.
Alright, so basically it's the Times Herald Record, and I found him on Twitter. You know, he writes articles at Times Herald Record, and I said, hey, you know, I saw your number. I wanted to introduce myself to you. This is what I'm doing. I gave him the whole rundown, and the whole time he was like, yeah, oh, okay, well, that sounds pretty interesting. Well, okay. I'm like, yeah, if you're poking at me because I have a short fuse for stupidity, but why would I be calling you if this wasn't important to me? It's kind of like, you know, I'm calling you and said I would like to be, you know, written about. I'm not pulling this out of my ass and saying, oh, this sounds like a good idea. Maybe it would stick or something. So basically, anyway, I told him. He said he would look into it. Fingers crossed, hoping to finally get someone willing to write articles about me. I'm waiting to get the 400. Don't mind me, that's how it. And basically, I'm waiting to get the 400, so I have something to brag about. So yes, I interviewed 400 people. I don't have an army, but off the top of my head, best memory I have, being sarcastic, I interviewed people from Chicago PD, General Hospitals, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. Let's see, I interviewed one guy who was on Burn Notice, The Wire, one guy who was in the Rocky movie. I'm not gonna get A-listers. That would be really nice, but I got B, C, D listers, and up and coming people with disabilities, people without disabilities, wrestlers, and I pretty much interview people. And the other thing that antagonizes me is, how is this helping people with disabilities? And you've had one question that's like, well, if you really wanted to douse my hopes, you really brought it up as that question. And the only thing I can think of is, how is this helping people with disabilities? Is pretty much, I'm turning myself into an example for people out there who are dealing with any types of disabilities or any types of learning disabilities and disabilities, but you should never give up. It needs to prove to people that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. It needs to prove to them you can still break the labels. That's, for me, how I'm helping people with disabilities. It is. I'm not like Jesus, where I come out and I give a speech or I touch someone where they're magically healed, or they would say, well, I had a problem being in a wheelchair. By hearing you speak, I would like to give people confidence. Absolutely. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving people confidence. But I'm not saying just because I give you, a pep talk, that's got to do like a 360 on your life. Basically, I'm just doing an inspiration. And it's up to you to take that and use that for yourself. Saying, hey, this kid who has a learning disability, who's mentally challenged, whatever, has his own talk show. Well, maybe if I clean up my act, I can use him for an information, influence, and if they say, look at what he can accomplish, then I can do it too. So that's basically, to answer my own question for people on out there, it's basically, for a long time I had a disability, but I'm showing people I can still amount to something. And hopefully that's good enough for people out there saying, hey, if he's standing up for people with disabilities, no matter what, then that should be good enough for me, and I can use him for an inspiration.
Well, I'd like to respond to that. You're more than an inspiration. And let me tell you why. You're honest. Do you know how hard it is to come by people in this world that are truly honest? And you can see it all over someone. You can see it whether they're honest or not. And so you're more than an inspiration. It's not just, you set the bar a lot higher than that. I understand what you're saying, and I know what you're trying to accomplish, and you are accomplishing that. And it doesn't matter what anybody says, or some bigwig that they want to, act like what you're doing is write you off like they're not important. The thing is they'll regret that in the long run, because honesty is a characteristic that is very, very hard to come by. It really is. And when you find somebody that's honest, when you find somebody that's sincere, that's priceless. And you don't know who you're helping. The thing is that that's the thing I'm always amazed at the television station that I work at. We our audience is millions, okay? But so many people will watch that show, and we will never meet them. They will never come into the studio. We'll never know that they were ever watching. But it has an audience span where it will reach those people. And a lot of times, people, they're not going to come up and say, hey, Keith, I saw your YouTube. They might be embarrassed to do that, or maybe they're just not a people person and they're not a real talkative person. But, they're listening to you and they are getting an inspiration and they are going to do something with their life. And it does make a difference. It makes all of the difference. So don't listen to what you hear with your ears or what you think you are picking up from what other people are saying, or, just encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. This is not about anybody besides myself and my own journey with God. And if I'm faithful to that, and I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I can lay down and sleep at night, and I'm honest, and I treat people, and the way that you treat people. The way that you treat people is so important. It really is. And I've never got anything but respect from you. And so respecting people and the way that you treat people, that's number one. It really is. And the world will tell you, oh, it doesn't matter. No. But that's just not true. It does matter. And the other day, not to drop names, but the other day, I thought it was so cool. And this is how social media works at its best, and you have to be really careful about what you say. I was talking to someone and made a comment and encouraging them. And all of a sudden, Doc Brown on Back to the Future made a comment on something I said. Now, his real name, which I can remember his real name right now.
Christopher Lloyd.
Thank you, Christopher Lloyd.
Well, can I say one thing?
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt, I apologize. But how do you know if that was really Christopher Lloyd you were talking to?
I don't. I really don't. I don't. But I think it was. And I think it was when I went to go to his Facebook page, it said that he was beyond friendships. I mean, not beyond friendship, but beyond the friendship request amount. You can have 5,000, and then, but it said that I was following him.
Right.
So there, just like you said, I don't know really, but I think I think I was, and so, but even if let's just say for the benefit of the doubt that wasn't him, you never know who's hearing you. You really don't, especially when you're on social media, because, it could be anybody. And so you have the opportunity to change your life every single time you say something or do something. And then in this platform, even so much more. So, yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm really in agreement with you that you will touch people. And, yes, you've had a lot of wonderful contacts. And I think that what you're doing is amazing, and I want you to keep it up, and I want you to, pat yourself on the back and encourage yourself and keep going, because you're going to make it to the top, and I'm right there behind you.
Yeah, I hope so. Now, with that being said, and we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 361. I am your host, Keith Andrew, along here with Brantley Goldford. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. One thing I do want to... is hard. Hey, it's Skype. Cuts in and cuts out. But the one thing I do want to say is you're perfect for this website when you watch the commercial. One of my commercials is Celebrity VM. I don't really do this because that's why I play the commercials, but I do it just for today. So occasionally, CelebrityVM.com. It's basically, for an example, you come across my profile. Hey Keith, I saw on Celebrity VM. I can't even talk. Hey Keith, I saw on CelebrityVM.com for $30. You do video recommendations, and there's actors fun, House of Cards, Breaking Bad, Rescue Me, WWE, TNA, upcoming stars. But yes, I am on there, so for $30, people would say, hey Keith, can you give me a shout out? Can you give me a recommendation? Okay, you can ask me anything as long as it's not perverted or anything. And for $30, I can get to say it, and you can ask any actors on there. All the actors, the wrestlers and performers, entertainers have their own prizes. And you said you were in media, and that's a perfect thing for you. You should definitely check out CelebrityVM.com.
Awesome.
It's a nice way to interact with your fans and get money on the side, too. So it's a win-win.
Cool.
Now, with that being said, with the last 10 minutes left, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there anything you wanted to know, anything you want to talk about, promote? This is your time, after all.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm just so thankful to be here. I am going to go forward in the voiceover work that I'm doing, and my dream is to maybe do a Hallmark movie or Disney, something like that. I feel like, I have this little girl voice for a reason. And so I don't put too much of the future ahead of me, because I try to just be happy in the present and grateful for everything I've been given. But I tell you, social media is just fabulous, isn't it? I mean, I wasn't on social media for so many years, and I didn't realize what I was missing out on. But now with being involved, it's the people that you can meet. It's incredible. It's incredible. It just changes the world, the whole world, doesn't it?
Well, the last subject I do want to run past you is social media. Can social media make you or break you? But what is your opinion about that?
I don't know. That's like saying, can a computer make you or break you? I don't think anything can break you besides yourself. You can give up, you can quit, you can give in to negative things that people say, but there's always going to be somebody there trying to be negative sometimes. I think you have to ignore those people. I think social media is just what you put in it. If you put positive in it, you're going to get positive back. If you, there's a lot of times I don't comment because I just feel like there's no reason to, if it's something very important, then I will. But I think I think that it's not your identity, but it amplifies who you are. So if you're a positive, happy person like you are, it will amplify that. It will. I don't think it can do anything except for amplify what's already there. Because people that know you and love you already know the truth. And I think you just have to be very conscientious about the things that you say and do, because you don't want to do anything that would give a bad example or interpretation that you wouldn't want out there. So, good or bad, that's the way I feel.
Now, wrapping up our talk show, the last subject I do want to talk to you about is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show. What was your first reaction? And actually, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but staying on subject. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after doing the interview, how do you feel now? And what would you say to people out there?
Oh, excited. It was a dream come true. It was sort of out of the blue. It was something that I dreamed of doing. And I was just so surprised and amazed, and it made my day. And I feel exactly the same way now. None of it has changed. It's everything that I thought it would be. And you're just such a wonderful, charming host. And so I couldn't ask any more.
Now, with that being said, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest. And I'm looking forward to part 2 with you down the road.
Absolutely.
Get a personal video message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shoutouts, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre. Buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
I'm so bored.
Want to see something really cool?
Yeah!
Now you'll never be bored again with Loot Crate, a totally bodacious mystery box packed with awesome toys, radical games, and other surprises. And the best part is, you can get Loot Crate delivered right to your door. So don't delay. Ask your parents and order today.
Everything okay in there? Yeah, everything great. I love Loot Crate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 361. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here with Brantley Goldford. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. You know, one thing I do want to...
hard.
Hey, it's Skype. Cuts in and cuts out. But the one thing I do want to say is you're perfect for this website. When you watch the commercial. One of my commercials is Celebrity VM. I don't really do this because that's why I play the commercials, but I do it just for today. So occasionally, CelebrityVM.com. It's basically, for an example, you come across my profile. Hey Keith, I saw on Celebrity VM. I can't even talk. Hey Keith, I saw on CelebrityVM.com for $30. You do video recommendations and there's actors from House of Cards, Breaking Bad, Rescue Me, WWE, TNA, upcoming stars. But yes, I am on there, so for $30, people would say, hey Keith, can you give me a shout out? Can you give me a recommendation? Okay, you can ask me anything as long as it's not perverted or anything. And for $30, I can get to say it. And you can ask any actors on there, all the actors, the wrestlers and performers, entertainers have their own prizes. And you said you were in media, and that's a perfect thing for you. You should definitely check out CelebrityVM.com.
Awesome.
It's a nice way to interact with your fans and get money on the side, too. So it's a win-win.
Cool.
Now, with that being said, with the last 10 minutes left, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there anything you wanted to know, anything you want to talk about, promote? This is your time, after all.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm just so thankful to be here. I am going to go forward in the voiceover work that I'm doing, and my dream is to maybe do a Hallmark movie or Disney, something like that. I feel like, I have this little girl voice for a reason, and so I don't put too much of the future ahead of me because I try to just be happy in the present and grateful for everything I've been given. But I tell you, social media is just fabulous, isn't it? I mean, there's just, I wasn't on social media for so many years, and I didn't realize what I was missing out on. But now with being, involved, it's the people that you can meet. It's incredible. It's incredible. It just changes the whole world, doesn't it?
Well, the last subject I do want to run past you is social media. Can social media make you or break you? But what is your opinion about that?
I don't know. That's like saying, can a computer make you or break you? I don't think anything can break you besides yourself. You can give up, you can quit. You can give in to negative things that people say, but there's always going to be somebody there trying to be negative sometimes. I think you have to ignore those people. I think social media is just what you put in it. If you put positive in it, you're going to get positive back. If you, there's a lot of times I don't comment because I just feel like there's no reason to, if it's something very important, then I will. But I think I think that it's not your identity, but it amplifies who you are. So if you're a positive, happy person like you are, it will amplify that. It will. I don't think it can do anything except for amplify what's already there. Because people that know you and love you already know the truth. And I think you just have to be very conscientious about the things that you say and do, because you don't want to do anything that would give a bad example or interpretation that you wouldn't want out there. So, good or bad, that's the way I feel.
Now, wrapping up our talk show, the last subject I do want to talk to you about is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show. What was your first reaction? And actually, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but staying on subject. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after doing the interview, how do you feel now? And what would you say to people out there?
Oh, excited. It was a dream come true. It was sort of out of the blue. It was something that I dreamed of doing. And I was just so surprised and amazed, and it made my day. And I feel exactly the same way now. None of it has changed. It's everything that I thought it would be. And you're just such a wonderful, charming host. And so I couldn't ask any more.
No, with that being said, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 with you down the road.
Absolutely.